Hello and welcome to my MSI 2022 preview where I will be ranking the supports 1 through 11 and going over their 3 most played champions. If you haven't stayed tuned with me throughout this process, I've reviewed every team. T1's video came out today, and this is the last of the 5 roles. Writing down their 3 most played champions, trying to, get an idea of what the meta might look like and what these players play for those that don't watch all the regions, which I'm going to guess you don't have enough time in the day. So, top 4 are the major region players. I watched them play 90% of their games I've watched, so I have a good feel, in my opinion, of where they're at. When it comes to the smaller regions, and this is where I get a little bit of heat, it's all stat based. I did not watch any games of the smaller regions. I think it's almost like disingenuous to say X player is better than another player without ever watching them play. So stats are the only way that I can do it. And I acknowledge stats are not the only way to determine something like that, but I haven't watched them all play. And to even watch just a championship series, somebody may be going off for a series, but weren't relevant all split long or whatever, and I think that matters. So, yeah, so that's kind of the vibe I try and give off on this video. Just trying to, be fair. Um, you know, I, I'll just get into this. So, Keria, T1. Keria is disgusting. He can play anything, in my opinion. His most played champions, Nautilus, Thresh, TK. The Leona is not in that trio. Most of the players have Nautilus, Leona, TK, Rakan, Thresh in their trio. Thresh only in a couple, but the other 4 are common. So the meta is pretty well set, and it's where you can branch off of that you may see some advantages and things that are different going into this event. So, Ming plays Nautilus, Leona, TK. Doesn't really play the Thresh, but he does play the Alistar. Alistar I don't think is that good, but it's an option. I think his Karma is very, very good. It gets banned out often. And Ming can play anything as well. So I think Keria and Ming are on a level of their own. They are first top tier supports in this tournament, and it's going to be really hard to beat those bot lanes. I'm really, really looking forward to Keria and Ming playing against each other after groups are done. Because, if one of those teams does not make it out of groups, something catastrophic happened to make them not make it out of groups. So, they're in a league of their own. Targamas, I have 3rd. This is where things get kind of fishy. I have Targamas above Vulcan, and people are going to be like, well, you have EG above G2 because you don't think G2's bot lane is experienced enough. And when push comes to shove, I do think the EG bot lane and G2 bot lanes are very different. I think EGs can be very aggressive. G2s can be aggressive coming from support, where EGs comes from both players. Actually, I never wrote G2 on here. Jeez Louise. So, Targamas. The reason why Targamas is 3rd. The Renata, the Rakan. Rakan's his most played champion, and Renata's 3rd. That is impressive. No one else really has that going on. Looking at the board, no one has Rakan 1st. That is a nice thing, that he obviously feels very comfortable in the champion and more comfortable than most other people at this tournament. His Renata, that is very different than the Nautilus, Leona, TK, Rakan. That's a ranged support. That is something that we have to really look at as a thing that's like, oh, geez, well, shoot. Targamas is legitimate here. I like his champion pool over Vulcan's. Vulcan's Leona, Nautilus, TK, and it is only those 3 champions. I think the 4th most played champion had only 2 times this past split. He played those 3 exclusively pretty much, and honestly, I think that's a big drawback. I think his champion pool may be the biggest weakness of EG going into this tournament. That is incredibly concerning, and honestly, even thinking about that, there is an argument to be made, I believe, that a guy like Kaiwing or I mean Harp graded out better, but I've watched Kaiwing play at least in international events, and I'm a big fan of Kaiwing, which is going to shock the PSG talent people that have been watching my videos that are shocked where I have PSG players throughout this series. But I am really high on Kaiwing. I think he's really good. Hanabi and him are definitely the core of PSG, obviously, because the other three roles have been swapped out over time, especially in the last year or so. I think that he could be he is better than Vulcan possibly when push comes to shove, but I'm not going to put that on here because it's not fair to Harp. I haven't seen Harp play. I don't know, what he has to offer as well, and we're going to find out at this event. So Harp, TK, Leona, Nautilus, similar champion pool. Leona, Nautilus, TK, Rakan, similar champion pools, all similar supports. Corporal, same exact four champions as Kaiwing. Rakan and TK tied as the third most. I mean, everybody's playing the same things, and that is where I would say this is going to get stagnant, and it's truly going to be who has the best Leona, who has the best Nautilus, who has the best TK. But Thresh, Alistar, Renata, those three players up there have curveballs, can make matchups, uneven in bot lane. They can gain advantages in draft, where these guys are pretty much handshaking all the damn time. And I think that's a big deal. I mean, if I am these bot laners, supports, and I haven't even gotten to the last four, and they could be very similar as well. They are pretty much similar. You need to figure something out, and you can't say, oh, well, the champions are banned out. Like, there's a reason why people are content putting you on these champions then. Either you're super, super, super good at those picks, which, let's be real, it's possible, but I'm not going to buy it. If these guys are leaving it up against you, they're probably thinking that you're not that good at it. We'll find out. But, they have to get kind of creative, I think, to make differences happen. Especially the smaller region teams, they need to get creative. I go on and on about it. And we'll get into that in here. So, Jojo, Leona, Nautilus, Renata. So the Renata is also in his champion pool. Nice. That's a good thing. Taki, Leona, Nautilus, and then 3 are tied after that. That means his champion pool is deep. There are options. He is willing to play a lot of different things. If Leona and Nautilus are not on the board, that is an advantage for Taki. Hopefully with Shogun, they can do something in the bot lane. Farfetch, Nautilus, Thresh, TK, same exact trio as Keria. Thresh is in there, that's an option. Not a lot of other people are using. Thresh kind of fell out of the meta. But for him, maybe it's a possibility. I don't see the Nami on here. I really don't think he played Nami at all this past split, which is weird given Holy Phoenix playing so much Lucian. So they got kind of creative in their bot lane duos. Maybe Nami kept getting banned out. I don't really know. But, hopefully you can play Nami. If you can't play Nami, that Lucian pick loses a lot of value. After yesterday, me going on and on about Lucian Nami being a possibility. If you don't play Nami, what's the point? 11th is straight. Team Ace's support is a former top laner that just role swapped to support. Going from top to support, dude, I give you all the props in the world for making it to an international event. But you're 11th going into this one. If you can shock the world and show that you have not only role swapped completely across the rift, but role swapped and become an elite, in the conversation on this board as a support, that'd be pretty damn impressive. Leona, and then it's a champion ocean after that, 4 tied, similar to Taki. If it's not Leona, you can play a lot of different things. I'm sure the Nautilus and TK, Rakan are on that board somewhere. But there could be other things as well. An advantage of being a former top laner is maybe you get really freaky. You get a Maokai in there. You get I forget which region it was. Someone played a Nasus support. Maybe. He's a former top laner. It would be quite interesting if he pulled that out. I'd be enthused. I'd be interested in that game more so than seeing 2 minor regions play bot lanes that we see over and over and over again. I mean, that's what you need to do. I think you need to, get creative if you want to beat the big dogs in this tournament as a smaller region, or at least have it in your repertoire as a threat. Um, I really think Karya and Ming are just at a tier of their own. And then afterwards, I think it's Targamas through like Kaiwing. I mean, honestly, evidently Harp is on paper really good. His stats are really good. All of Detonation Focus Me's stats are really good, except steals. Um, so, I mean, who is doing all the work for them? I don't know. I didn't watch any LJL this year, or ever, really. So, we'll find out. But in that case, I would say third through probably sixth is up up for grabs, and then after that, it's anyone's game. Who wants to be the seventh best support? But support is probably my favorite role. It's the role I play. I enjoy it because I can't farm worth a crap. So that's that for my support rankings. Comment down below if you have an opinion of your own on these champion pools or how you think the support role will fare at this tournament. How much of an impact will it have on wins and losses? Subscribe to the channel if you want daily content. Like I said at the end of my T1 video earlier today, which if you missed, you might want to watch. I said tomorrow I'm going to be doing a video on the pocket picks, at least champions that were oddly banned out against these teams that weren't banned out against, everybody else. Which there were quite a few champions list, honestly, that are banned once. When you look at these teams on here, they were only banned against one team and not anyone else, which is the way I'm going to go about doing that video. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to go over Group A. I'm going to do my predictions on how I think Group A is going to look in the end, and maybe a player to watch on each team that I'm interested in seeing and seeing how they do. But nevertheless, thank you for watching this video. Comment down below, like I said, and I hope you come back for more content.